So I recently listened to a couple of podcasts where they talked about the pros and cons of large versus small adventure bikes. And since you guys all know that I'm a fan of the big adventure bikes, I thought I'd hop on here and share some insights with you. So there's a ton of pros and cons for large and small ADV bikes. And I probably should start with the reason I like the big ones. So the biggest reason I have not one but two large adventure bikes is because I enjoy motorcycle travel. The type of traveling I like to do involves trips for days on end. If I can do it, I enjoy pavement riding. I enjoy twisty roads. I enjoy back roads, dirt roads, some two track. And I have bikes that I know if I run into a section that gets a little technical, the bikes will be able to handle it no problem. Trust me when I say that the bikes will run out of talent, or that the rider, will run out of talent long before those bikes will. So let's talk about some of the pros for a large adventure bike. So large adventure bikes are better. They've got more power, so they're better on the highway. They're more comfortable for touring. They're also they're better for they carry weight better, so you can pack more on them if you're carrying more camping gear, more clothes, layers, whatever you like to carry. A big bike can carry more. They're heavy. That's probably one of the biggest cons. It's important, I think, if you're in the market for an adventure bike right now and you're wondering if you should buy a large or small adventure bike, to determine where exactly you want the bike to perform its best. The big adventure bikes obviously are heavy and they don't perform as well in the tighter, maybe a little more gnarly trails like a small adventure bike would. Smaller adventure bikes, like say your dual sports and even mid-size, they're lighter. They will perform better off the road and on any tighter trails, but they're not going to be as comfortable on the highway. You're going to lose some touring comfort, and you're also going to lose the ability to carry as much weight if you're like me and you like to overpack. You're also going to see a big difference when it comes to maintenance with your large versus small adventure bikes. So on big adventure bikes these days, you can go well over 10,000 kilometers, even between oil changes, and valve intervals and major service checks are getting into the tens of thousands of kilometers with some of these big brands now. Your smaller adventure bikes, smaller displacement engines, require more maintenance and may only be able to go a couple of thousand kilometers between services, depending on the oil and the type of riding that you actually do. I think I've already said it, but the biggest difference between large and small adventure bikes is weight. The big adventure bikes are heavy. By the time we deck them out like we all do with crash bars, lights, and aftermarket parts, you're going to be looking at anywhere from 500 to 600 pounds. Your dual sports, you really don't need to add a lot to most of those, and they're going to be anywhere from probably the 350 to 450 pound range, and even some of the mid-range bikes are pushing that weight class. So if weight is a concern, you definitely might want to consider a smaller one. If it's not, if you're like me and you want the extra space to pack things, if you want a bike that can just hold a larger rider, then maybe a heavyweight adventure bike is the way to go. You also really need to consider how you want the bike to perform in the type of terrain that you're going to ride. Maybe highway or touring comfort isn't a priority for you, even if you have a lot of that to do. Maybe you want the bike to perform better on the tighter trails and the gnarlier tracks, where a lighter bike is definitely an advantage. Maybe you want a bike that can handle some of that, but is going to provide you more comfort if you've got long highway stretches to do, or if you ever do just a road ride. The heavier bikes are going to be an advantage in that area and give you a lot more comfort on the highway. If features and technology are your thing, or if they're not, then that's going to definitely affect your decision on which bike you buy as well. The bigger adventure bikes tend to have more features, more creature comforts, such as heated grips, heated seats, cruise control, electronic windshields, electronic suspensions, a bunch of features like that. And if those are things that you want in your bike, then the bigger bikes are going to be the way to go. If you don't want all those features, if you look at those as just more things that can go wrong, more ways the bike can fail, or you want to be able to adjust the bike more for your own style of riding, then maybe a dual sports for you. Those 450s and 500s, they won't come with those creature comforts, and you'll have to add them after the fact if you want them. Whatever bike you choose, make sure it makes you smile, and you'll know that it's the right bike for you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're on a 300cc dual sport or a 1300cc adventure bike. The main thing is you're out there riding and you're enjoying yourself. I know this video hasn't been long, but I just wanted to hop on here and give some quick insights onto my opinions on the large versus small adventure bikes, why I like the big ones, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the trails.